you guys yesterday.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you again.
I'm Laura with the Nerds of Color. I am so excited to chat with you guys. I love your characters. I got to see the whole series, the whole season, and with your both your characters. With Lee, your character is already established. Is already established character from last season, and Megan, you're a newcomer for this season. For Lee, how did you approach this season with already having an established character or already established storyline? And for Megan, what was your character? How does it feel to entirely create this new character and come into the fold of this storyline, especially your deep storyline as well?
Yeah.
So
I would say coming in for season 2, I was really interested to see where Fabiola's storyline would go. Because she had her big coming out moment. And I just kind of love how her storyline, it isn't like, she comes out and, everything's great and she knows who she is. No, she still has more questions about, her interests and also being in a relationship. And so I really loved Fabiola's journey in season 2 and just her full circle realization moment as well.
And Megan?
Yeah, I feel like by default I should pretend to know the answer, but truthfully, this was my first time really kind of crafting a legitimate character and especially a character with the complexities that Anissa does have. So for me, it was a journey on its own, figuring out how to do that. But in terms of what I did off screen to prepare for Anissa's with the eating disorder, I did a lot of research. I read a lot of articles. I watched a lot of interviews just to kind of make sure that, I got it right, because it was important to me and is important to me.
No, it's such an important storyline. And you know what? I really love, Never Have I Ever, the series, just touching on the important stuff, and there is the new introduction of Anissa as a new cool Indian American girl. And you know what, like many predominantly white schools, we always gravitate towards someone of our background or a fellow person of color. Like both your characters are friends among people of color. And Devi feels threatened too, because she's so used to being the inclusive, I'm the brown girl, she's this person. And I feel like Hollywood is like that sometimes too, especially since it's exclusively white. Do you feel like it's very similar to how Hollywood treats people of color, especially women of color?
That's a pretty complex question. I definitely think that we're seeing changes occur. And never have I ever such a perfect example of that. We're seeing two brown girls on screen together, in the same age bracket. That's really cool and is never done. So we're breaking barriers. And I think that as long as we continue to do that, we'll be able to shape and change that original narrative.
Yeah, I also feel like with the Afro-Latinx community as well, like, do you feel like that's also affecting that too? Like the storyline is about inclusivity. And I feel like that's how Hollywood treats people of color and women of color, and especially in Afro-Latinx, because there's a torn between the two.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's definitely evolving. And you can see, in this season, there's so many different characters and there's so many different like people of color, and like it's not just one, which is great, because that very much was a narrative. It's there can only be one, the diversity hire, the token person. And so that's a narrative that I'm really glad that is changing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really love that your characters, this will be my last one, but I love that the characters also have romance in their lives. And, there's a queer romance, and Anissa, everyone loves you. Everyone wants to be with your character. And I don't want to spoil anything, but, they have romance, and it's rare to see people of color, women of color, get to have interracial relationships, or even relationships for queer and relationships. When you were reading it and reading about the story and your characters, how did you feel seeing the romance for the first time, kind of like this kind of romance for both of you guys?
I would say for season 2, I was really excited, like the moments that even Fabiola had, especially the one in the second episode where it's like the bedroom scene, they kind of have their first kiss. And so that was really exciting to like, it's just such a beautiful moment that I was really excited about. And also like at the end of the season too, the beautiful moment that they share. And so I love moments like that. And I was really excited to film those, and I'm really excited for people to see it.
Yeah. And Megan, I know you're like,
Yeah.
just to see like relate that relationship. Like,
Yeah, no, totally. So I've been lucky. I mean, I've explored that interracialness and dating in other projects that I've worked on. So that wasn't really necessarily new to me, but I was definitely curious to see who it was going to be. I suspected it was going to be one or the other. So finally, actually getting to read the script and being like, okay, this is the direction we're going in. Cool. And that was really cool just because we all got along really great. So it wasn't like a struggle to do that. It was all very easy going and felt cool and not weird.
well, thank you guys so much. I love your characters. I can't wait for everyone to see it. It's amazing. Like, and I love what they do with you guys. Like, you guys have so much like full dimensions and layers to you guys, and I love that, seeing that. So thank you for that. But thank you guys so much, and like have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this. This is the hard knock life, but not the chick.